Hello everyone and welcome to the Tartan Premier League Preview and Prediction Show. I did alright, didn't I? Last week I did okay. Not only did I get the outcomes correct, I got a lot of the score predictions bang on as well. I got one or two horrendously wrong, but we'll ignore them. Let's be positive. Anyway, in the Premier League this weekend, we've got some huge games coming up. We've got Liverpool taking on Tottenham. We've got Arsenal taking on Leeds. Big games at the top, the middle and the bottom of the Premier League. It looks like everything's going to the wire. Title race is going to the wire. Top four probably won't go to the wire. Relegation will go to the wire. Everything is to play for, unless you're a Watford fan, and then it's just a case of when, not if. Norwich are officially relegated. Watford, they're not far behind. But let's take a look at the big one at Anfield. Liverpool taking on Spurs, 7:45 on Saturday night kickoff. I mean, what's that kickoff time all about, first of all? I thought we were done with that. Couldn't tell you the last time we had a 7:45 Saturday night game. I thought it was a COVID thing. But as a neutral, I'm not complaining. Looking forward to sitting down and watching this one. The title race and the top four race both in one game. Both teams with everything to play for. Liverpool have to win the remainder of their games and hope someone does them a favour against Man City. Whereas Tottenham, they have to be careful. They get beat here and Arsenal do their job. Arsenal can then clinch fourth in the North London derby. That would just be a nightmare for any Spurs fans. So they have to make sure that they turn up here to avoid that happening. Not sure they will. Liverpool got their scare during the week against Villarreal in the Champions League, but they did it. They won it comfortably in the end. They're in the Champions League final. The quadruple is alive, and I think we're looking at the best team in European football right now. Now, that's not a bold claim. I've made bolder ones. I will make bolder ones. I think a lot of people will agree with me. We are looking at the best team in European football right now in Liverpool. I think we're going to see it again on Saturday. Last weekend at Newcastle, a very difficult place to go. First v second in 2022 went head to head. I thought Liverpool made it look comfortable. It looked relatively easy. Rotated a lot of the players. Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho, Thiago, Salah. I mean, they weren't dropped. They were sat on the bench. It was a very star-studded bench that Klopp had there. But he rotated a half his first 11 and they won relatively well. The score was only 1-0, but I think it could have been greater. I think it could have been 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 would have been a fair reflection of the game. Comfortable win for them, and I'm expecting the same again on Saturday night. So I'm going to say Liverpool 2, Tottenham 0. Spurs obviously got their job done against Leicester, but Leicester had bigger things going on last weekend. It was a sort of a reserve team, Leicester, just like my team put a reserve one against Arsenal. We'll get on to that. Leicester had other things on their mind. I think it showed. Spurs got the job done. I'm just not sure they're going to get the job done on Saturday night. Liverpool 2, Tottenham 0. Now moving on to Arsenal against Leeds, 2 PM Sunday game. This could be an absolute cracker. Arsenal going for fourth. Arsenal could get fourth. Arsenal should get fourth. And I don't think it's going to stop on Sunday either. I'm going to go for a home win in this one. Arsenal 3, Leeds 1. Now while I'm giving Leeds the goal, I think Arsenal will concede rather than Leeds will score. Because while they gave a good account of themselves, if you like, against Manchester City, unlike the Liverpool one, I think the score line was a bit too harsh on Leeds getting beat 4-0. I don't really think it was a 4-0 game. I just don't have much belief in Leeds scoring at the minute. At least under Bielsa, I felt going into every game, if they were on it, Leeds, they could score 2 or 3 against anyone in the league. The problem was they would also concede 2, 3, 4, 5 goals under Bielsa. Now Marsh has tightened them up. I think defensively they're a lot better, a lot more organised. I think they're a lot more disciplined, tougher to break down. But I think it's come at a sacrifice, which is I think they're less likely to score. I should probably have checked the statistics behind this before making this claim, but that's just how I feel watching Leeds United. And they are dropping like a stone. And if you ask me right now who's going to get relegated along with Norwich and Watford, it's Leeds United. I was always say I hope they don't. I quite like Leeds because I do, but I also quite like Everton and Burnley, so I can't really win here, can I? But I think Leeds are bang in trouble. They're going to have to get something from somewhere, and I don't know where that somewhere is, and I don't think it's Emirates on Sunday. 3-1 Arsenal. Brentford against Southampton. Dead rubber. Brentford were unlucky at Old Trafford. Thought they gave a good account of themselves too. Man United just had better players. Southampton did see their game last week, so can't comment on it too much, but just 1 win in 5 for them now. It's 4th v 15th in the Premier League. It doesn't surprise you, does it? If you didn't know that, and I've told you that, you're not, Really? Yeah, probably is. And you know something? I think you can probably expect these two teams to finish 4th and 15th come the end of the season. But for the sake of it, I'm going to say Brentford 1, Southampton 1. Now Burnley take on Aston Villa. Sean Dyche sacking justified. It was the correct decision. It looked like the correct decision before last weekend. They've gone on and won. 3 wins and a draw since sacking Dyche, giving themselves a real chance of staying in the Premier League, which would be incredible really. Even Burnley fans have given up. What a turnaround at that club. Jackson up for Manager of the Month in April, deservedly so. I think he should win it personally. I hope he does win it personally. They go into this one with belief, and I think they're going to do it again. I'm going to say Burnley 2, Aston Villa 1. Now, last weekend Villa got the win, probably secured their Premier League status. Not that I thought they'd go down, but you just want to get to that point, that safety point, don't you, where you can relax. And they've got quite a lot of games to go, Villa. I think they've only played 33 games this season, so still 5 fixtures. They can comfortably finish in the top 10 if they wish to. But this season, for Gerrard arriving after Smith got sacked, was never about competing for European football or anything like that. I think it was all about Steven Gerrard getting in, getting his feet under the table, having a real good overlook of this squad and deciding what he wants to do next season, what he wants to do in the summer transfer window. Because Villa are an ambitious club. They do have ambitious owners. And Gerrard's, a young manager. They can invest a lot of time and money into him and give him time and money to go and do something. And I'm probably going a bit too deep into it. It's supposed to be a game preview. But the reason I'm going for a loss for Villa is I think we're going to see Gerrard try a few things. They've got a couple of talented youngsters there. Hopefully they'll get a bit of game time. They're already starting to get a bit of game time actually. In the last few weeks as well. So I'll do a video about Villa in a couple of weeks, right? 2-1 Burnley. Moving on, we've got Chelsea against Wolves. No one's watching this apart from Chelsea Wolves fans. I said that about Wolves last week though, and they ended up getting beat 3-0. But Chelsea look like they've given up. They've just gone stale. Wolves, they gave up a long time ago. Sounds like there's a few problems between Bruno Lage and a couple of players, Johnny and Raul Jimenez. Whether that's true or not, we will have to wait and see. But it's not great for Wolverhampton Wanderers at the minute. 1 win in 5. As a West Ham fan, I need Chelsea to win. But for the sake of the predictions, I'm going to say Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. Palace Watford. By Watford, no wins in 5. Just a case of when, not if, the sooner the better really, isn't it? Just put them out of their misery. Palace can still finish in the top 10. Earlier on in the season, at the start of the season, when I did a video, I say when, as in like in one of the collection. One of the 3 videos I did at the start of the season was about Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira, and I wanted them to see them do well. I think if they can get top 10 football, they can finish in top half Premier League. I think that is a really good season for them, and I think they're going to continue to build towards that this weekend. Crystal Palace 2, Watford 0. Then Man City take on Newcastle on Sunday afternoon. Ho ho ho! You've got to be nervous. If you're a City fan watching this, let me know first, because you must be nervous for this game. Liverpool turned up at St James's Park last weekend and did it well. But the difference is City have just gotten beat. Not only have they got beat in the Champions League, it's the way they got beat. 88 minutes or whatever. You had a 2-goal cushion and you got knocked out. Pep's got to pick these players up. It's not going to be easy. Pep's got to pick them up. He's going to have to start his starting 11. They've got a job to do now, which is win the Premier League title. Because if they don't win the Premier League title, this season has been a failure. Man City standards are Premier League or Champions League. You have to win one of them. Otherwise, it's not been a good season for Man City. So there's pressure on Pep now. There's pressure on Man City. And Newcastle are not going to be an easy game. While, like I said, Liverpool won comfortable last week, I thought Newcastle gave a good account of themselves. They worked hard. They just were lacking much creative threat in the final third. But this Man City team are going to be there to get got at. While I don't think you got that impression against Liverpool, I think you've got that against Man City actually. I think we might see a braver Newcastle on Sunday than we did last weekend against Liverpool. I'm going to say Man City 2, Newcastle 1. A narrow victory for City. But I'll tell you what, if I was a City fan, I would be nervous. If I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be hopeful. And I'll tell you what, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be getting a little bit hopeful too that Newcastle could do you a favour this weekend. Brighton take on Manchester United. I was going to say the evening game on Saturday. It's not. It's now the late afternoon game, the 5:30 kickoff. And Brighton are doing alright actually. I thought they were sort of on the beach, but they've turned around a bit. Some good wins recently. They're picking up points back in top half of the table. Man United are doing enough to finish 6th, which isn't really an achievement for them, but they're doing enough to do that. Annoying for me, frustrating for me. I'm hoping Brighton does us a favour just to give us a bit of excitement as West Ham fans. I'm going to say Brighton 1, Man United 1. Leicester take on Everton. They done it, 1-0. I called that last week. I called that, and that's my claim to fame. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. That's what I said. This weekend I'm saying Leicester 0, Everton 1. I only saw the first hour of the game last week, and I thought Everton were very impressive. Jordan Pickford obviously had an incredible game. So what? That's what you've got a keeper for. That's why they invested so much money in Jordan Pickford. That's why he's England's #1. It's alright relying on your goalkeeper. You just can't do it every week, but sometimes you're going to have to. There's some games you will. Man United have been relying on David De Gea all bloody season. Everton have done it one game and it's like, whoa, you can't do that every week. Well, it turns out I think they can. Between now and the end of the season, I think they can rely on Pickford and they can rely on Richarlison to score a goal a game, and that will be enough to keep them in the Premier League. I think they're going to get another big 3 points actually against Leicester City on Sunday. Leicester, a bit like what West Ham and Man City have got, which is how do you pick them up mentality. They got knocked out of European football by Roma last night, so a bit of a blow for Leicester. You know, I actually hope Leicester will go on and win it. I don't mind Leicester at all. I'd like to see them do well. Out of the Europa Conference League. They've got a lot of games to go though. They've also got 5 Premier League games to go, and they've got a very, very slim chance of getting 7th in the Premier League, which would get them the same competition next season. But to do that, they'll probably have to win every game between now and the end of the season, and I'm not sure it's going to work this weekend. Bit of a blow for them. Leicester 0, Everton 1. And that leaves Norwich West Ham. Not going to go into too much detail. I'll talk about it on Hammers Chat. If you're not a West Ham fan, Hammers Chat West Ham channel that I do with Gonzo. We speak about every game, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to say Norwich 0, West Ham 1. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it. If you're new to the Tartan Geo channel, please do subscribe. Don't worry, this isn't going to be Tartan Geo Premier League Preview channel. I have a video, at least one video next week, maybe just one, maybe 2 videos next week, which is general Premier League. It's not general Premier League, it's club specific, but it's not general Premier League. Anyway, I'll catch you next week. See you in a bit.